The Dr. G Show.
Hi, everybody.
I'm Dr. G. Who are you?
I am Suzanne.
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 With the number 2 company.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And then Suzanne's our special guest for like the 50th million time. And we invite her on when we want some really good insight and when I need some good perspective because I have my little ways of thinking. And it's always nice to have your ways of thinking involved too.
Very nice. So, yeah, everybody has their own ways of thinking sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Some of it's crazy. So.
Some of it's not.
Some of it's sane. Some is crazy.
Right.
So this is episode 187, which is murder in the gang world.
You know, you said that last time, and I was like, I don't know.
Did you know?
No, but then when you said that, I was like, oh, I didn't. I had no idea.
That's why you gotta get good at this stuff, right? What's our sign? Wait.
Peace.
Dr. G.
No, it's
like
peace.
Dr.
It's
G.
peace. I don't know.
I
don't know any. I don't know signs.
Like this?
I know. A, B, C.
I'm gonna have to get you hooded out.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm gonna get us live on my site too. On my site too. Whoa, Nelly.
So this is 187, and we are continuing with our talk on finding happiness through healthy boundaries and better emotional intelligence with ourselves, our relations, family, and Facebook. So last week we talked a lot about broad and general stuff. We talked about some very specific things. We did want to kind of touch on more of social media this time. I know last time this was our goal, to go from these kind of relationships where basically you have this trauma and your trauma causes pain to the other person, and you rectify that by giving them Band-Aids and pumping them full of air. So you can see the air pump over here and then the Band-Aids. So that's the relationships that are toxic, where it's like, hey, I'm going to say and do whatever the hell I want, and when you get hurt, I'll say I'm sorry and gas you back up, right? That's not a healthy relationship. That's where a lot of people end up, even with our own selves, and then with friends and Facebook and relationships. But you really want to get to this. And I say this, again, we're not saying anybody, because we all are the cactus. We all are the cactus.
At times, for sure. We all have some things that we do.
She's tripping. You're saying you're not the cactus.
No, we all have
Sometimes
times.
cactus?
No, we are.
No, I know,
everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need to drink more wine, get more corks.
So we want to be the kind of person that knows our own trauma, knows our reactive responses, know how we hurt people, even by accident or unintentionally, and we work on those things. So we don't have to keep patching up our partners or patching up our families or rectifying situations and apologizing, but we just stop reacting and we start responding in healthy ways. So part of this is creating that healthy boundaries of emotional intelligence where, we practice awareness. So we know what our triggers are. We know what we do to hurt other people. And, whether it's intentional or not, we're aware of how we affect others. And then controlling those things. And that's where like the active practice of the pause comes in, which is really great. Rewiring the brain through neuroplasticity. But handling our interpersonal relationships judiciously and empathetically. And so with that, we want to make sure that when we have kind of our responses, are we being judicial? Are we doing things that you gotta scroll up.
Oh, just scroll. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
I was
really
so
cool.
thinking you were gonna click it off. I was just,
I know.
Okay. She's trying to manage the dynamics of this. Okay.
Yes.
So like we have the judicial part, right? But we can get caught up with that because we can have this right and wrong thinking, this legalistic approach, and I have a hard time with that. I end up with kind of like harder boundaries than I probably should have, and then I justify. But the other part of that is the empathetic part, and to say, what am I doing that affects that other person? What about their experience of me in those relationships, right? So we want to take that kind of process that we talked about before, and we want to apply it to other parts of our life. And one of the things that I'm telling you, 17 years of practice, it's probably been around that long, is our social media. Like, social media can make or break people's days. And I was one of those people. Like, in the beginning, I was a stay-at-home dad. I had my clinical practice in the evening. And so during the day, I'm at home, and I got my twins, and I'm walking to preschool, and then I have like an hour and a half. And then, like, I would try to right the wrongs of the internet and argue the facts. And then I was constantly anxious. I was constantly upset by things. And I was just like, if you like put bigoted or racist or sexist stuff on there, or honestly just things that were not factually true, I was going to overwhelm you with actual research. And it took me a long time to figure out that I'm just wasting my hormones and exhausting myself and getting angry at people that I probably don't even know most of the time. For what?
Exactly.
Nothing changed. But I end up being the one exhausted and frustrated. Instead of spending time with my girls and concentrating, being fully present with them, I'm thinking what my next reply is going to be. And so I see patients all the time that do this. Now my Facebook is like 99% happiness. It's healthy tribe. It's right tribe. And once in a while, I'll entertain and kind of poke the bear if I'm a little bored. Or really if I have work to be done and I'm trying to
procrastinate.
Then I'll kind of poke the bear. But I only poke the bear if I know absolutely 100% I'm in the right. I can justify it.
Right.
And then, honestly, I just make my few things. Most people will go to attacking you, and then I just unfriend them and move on with my life.
And sometimes it doesn't even matter what you put on there. You could put like a flower, and it'll get 0 responses.
Or you'll be like, I like roses, and you're like, oh, you hate tulips?
Right, there's always something. Well, that's very interesting that you say that, because years ago I had developed, when all of this Facebook stuff first started, I developed a pen name because I'm a writer. Ooh. As well.
What was pen name?
I don't think I can say.
What?
There's only a few people that know.
Wait. Is it because it's inappropriate or private?
No, it's just that it was my kind of outlet to do my writing without being...
Oh, well, keep your secrets.
Well, see, that's just what you were saying. No, it's not a secret. It's just that it was an imperative part of me learning that part of the internet, which is also Facebook, social media, all across the board. But that was the era of me understanding marketing, social media, and how it manipulates and how it can create a whole genre of interests and dislikes and all kinds of other things that I tested it. I tested the boundaries with that just to find out how this affected people. And this is why I think that I'm so confused.
I feel like you're being cagey about the whole thing.
Oh, I guess I need to... Did
you have an alternate personality on there?
No.
Like an alternate ego person?
No. So, however, this is how I became aware of all... I really tried to maintain a focus on how social media has affected people through... Even since then, it was like 2007 or 8.
Yeah.
And so what I did...
Back in the day.
Is I used those tools to understand how people became attracted to the site, how they stayed with the site, how they were became addicted. There were people who were addicted to the site. There might have been a certain type of reason why they were addicted to the site. So I would manipulate that a little bit to see if they would stay tuned or if they would go somewhere else. So there, in a way, I was your algorithm.
You were figuring out the analytics of social media. Yeah.
Well, it was even more than that. So basically, I have...
Hey, Mariah.
Hey, Mariah. And chime in a little bit, Mariah, because I know you probably have some stuff with ADHD that sometimes... we'll get to that later, but sometimes social media can be helpful with ADHD. Kind of slows people down a little bit.
What?
But I don't know. You tell us. So back then, when I had my pen name, I would attract interest from all over the world. And then it just got to be too much. I couldn't handle. I had to go on there every night. I had to engage. I had to, it was like a huge mental focus to engage these people.
Yeah.
And so at some point I just had to say, that's enough. I can't keep up with it. I didn't have a team of people or anything. So, but yes, social media can be a lot of different things, and people will say and do whatever they want. Because I was just having this conversation with Tracy today, is that you have these people who are free speech now, where they didn't have anything before now. Does that mean that, they're politically educated or educated in emotional regulation? There's a lot of that.
No.
There's a lot of that.
It doesn't mean
maybe they're
There's
not.
no pre-qualifications
right.
here.
Well, that's just it. There's
Yeah.
no regulation on it at all. So everyone has 100% free speech, and they can do and say whatever they want on social media.
So I want you guys to interact with us too, because I know
Absolutely.
This is a constant thing. Emotional intelligence, kind of healthy boundaries questions, or kind of examples what helped you guys. But one question would be, have you ever been in Facebook jail? I feel like I'm very
what is Facebook jail?
Facebook jail is where they suspend your account for
no
a few days. I don't know.
Do?
I didn't do anything. I have not been to Facebook jail yet.
Oh.
I've had a couple
okay.
things where they censored, but
usually it's music. Like if you accidentally
they do that. But no,
I was driving in the car with Alex one time, and I videotaped him, and it had a radio song playing, and they took it off.
Yeah, they
or
do that
muted
now.
it. They muted it. Is what they did.
When I do the roller adult skate night, and I'm roller skating and do my thing, they'll partially mute that. So Deb Anderson says, I post a shit ton of pics and videos of my dogs that people
people post political crap.
Yeah.
Now some people just ignore me like I ignore them. LOL.
So I actually have lots of patients that they'll create accounts for their dogs or their cat or a pseudonym, and so that way they can interact with their friends or families. If they don't know, they just don't know they're online. So they get this free access without any kind of family drama, which is kind of nice. But
that's kind of what my pen name was.
Yeah.
Well, and I've been having these conversations lately, but sometimes people can create accounts and they can befriend you because you might have 16 mutual friends, and they befriend you and they're stalking you. They're not even a real account, or
Yeah, that's right.
That's kind of scary to me.
Why is that? I
know.
Stalkers.
because then you have that's what I was talking about last week. You have these 4-dimensional relationships. You're spending all this time on a 1-dimensional relationship that is somebody messing with you on Facebook.
You guys ever fall in love with somebody on Facebook without ever seeing them?
Ooh.
That's a good one. Because you go through, and I do this. I crush a lot, but not that kind of crush, but crushing. The 80s version of crushing. No, that's smashing. Crushing's different. Okay, so I look and I'm always wanting to figure out people's lives. There's these people sometimes you're going through and you're just well, they seem very curious to me, and then I'm want to know their backstory. And I think it's because of too much reality television.
But are they real?
They're real people.
How do you know?
Well, because
did you meet them?
No.
Are they really? Did they go to your church?
They were hey, can you meet me at the rest stop? And don't tell any of your friends or family, and get in the van.
Point. That's my point, y'all.
No.
Don't really
you
know
got to
these
make them
people.
show you the candy before you get in the back of the van. Because I'm not going through that again. Is that what you're talking about? No.
But that's my point.
I have a bunch. No, the only people that are fake online, that are flirting and stuff, and you look through and you're oh, she's nice, okay, interesting, and then you get to and it's just oh, it's all Nigerian people, and then you're this is not her. right? Or this is not this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, that
So.
or maybe they just have pictures of art or pictures of some kind of idealism or something. You know, maybe they're into like magic, and then they show a bunch of like meme.
What are you talking about?
I mean, because there are people out there that do
I don't know
stuff.
what kind of people are like messing with you on Facebook.
Not me. I mean, I've been not me, because honestly, when I post something on Facebook, I know every single person
Oh, snap.
Personally,
No, not me.
that makes or responds to, and I love that, and I want it to stay like that.
No.
Sometimes I get this random, friend request, and then I check
That's
it
'cause
out.
you're-
I mean, I just do my work. I do my homework.
Okay, I'm sure most of the people that watch this show are women, but because men don't care about health, so until something doesn't work anymore. But
And that's actually a statistic.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's a fact.
That's like true.
So for women, then, like I have 5,000 Facebook friends, and there'll be something come up, and I'll filter out all the awful people on Facebook like that. Now I'll purge them like nothing,
Yeah.
and then I'll lose like 30 friends, or like actually cleanse those 30 people that are not my friends, and then
Oops.
I friend people and they friend me, and like I have like this list, like a queue or whatever, like 50 people or 100 people or something that's kind of wanting to be friends. But I'll usually go through and kind of decide whether they're a right tribe kind of person. Like I don't have any problem with like 5,000 people, and I probably know 30 people or 100 people personally commenting and that kind of stuff. So as a guy, I don't care. Like I don't feel any risk with that. I'm not getting shoved in a trunk.
Well, that's just it.
But
I mean,
for
everybody
women-
should do their part in that.
But for women, are women more likely to want to know all their Facebook friends and the people that are commenting, or do women typically care?
I personally care.
What do you guys think?
I care. What do y'all think? I think sometimes we can spend too much time on social media, and it's not just Facebook. It's Instagram,
OnlyFans.
There are people that I have heard that they are literally in a relationship with someone else, but they're texting someone else on a different social media platform.
Don't be playing around with that.
And that's the kind. Let me tell you a little story.
Ooh,
I'm gonna do a little backstory.
story.
Several years ago, I had not been in the dating scene for I was alone for a couple of years, and I actually met somebody that started talking.
Stalker.
Never friended me on Facebook,
Ooh.
but only texted.
Oh, that seems sketchy.
Yeah. And so a couple months went by, and I was like, well, so, it's okay with me if you're seeing someone else or if you're talking to other people. It's just not for me.
Right.
I don't do that. And so, no, not talking to anybody else. No big deal, right? Well, a month later, he's engaged.
Holy shit, really?
A week or two after that, he's married.
Holy crap.
But
He's catfishing. No, he's chumming.
I said, I don't know anything about this social media and dating. I need to get my ducks in a row and figure this out. So that's when I started figuring out gaslighting, love bombing, all of those things.
Oh my God.
All the stuff that we talked about
Although
last week.
I do love bombing.
Well,
because that's my love language.
It can be intriguing.
It's aligned with my love languages, so
But
I'm easy to fall for that.
I think somebody last week on my social media page said, how do you do this dating thing? There are so many single people in the world right now, and probably because of social media. Because they think that the grass is greener on the other side, and how are you gonna bond these relationships that you physically, these organic relationships that you have, when you're spending all of your time over there in la la land,
right?
Because half the people aren't like real, and so we have to understand that. The dating sites and all of that. I mean, it's very tricky, tricky stuff. very tricky.
Okay, so let's do 3 things then. Okay.
Okay.
Because this is good. So I want to talk about my line theory. One line theory.
We talked about that last week, but do it again because it's very
Whoa,
important.
did we do that?
Yes. But do it again.
See this little streak of gray like here? No, it's opposite. Here? There?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm forgetting stuff. Getting old. Uh-oh.
Okay.
There's a kid that died in this building years ago, and like sometimes people can see through the camera. I never see him, but sometimes people can see the kid in the background.
You said that last time. Hi, Alex.
Can you come with me for a second?
Well, I'm kind of logged in here in the section, but come on in and say hi to everybody.
Hi.
And
so, because of COVID, it's Bring Your Kid to Work Day.
Come over here.
Do you have some good advice on social media? Do you have a social media account? Do you have a Facebook account?
Mom's not quite ready for that.
Yeah.
He does gaming, and he has friends on gaming.
Yeah.
And so, but he also is very wise about how to, if someone's bullying or saying something or treating him unfairly, then he gets right off. He takes care of it right away.
What, you got healthy boundaries? That's crazy talk.
Yeah.
Nice. Do people say awful stuff? Yeah.
Sometimes.
So on Facebook, it's like that too. People will say whatever the hell they want to say because they don't see you there, right? So then when you're gaming and you have your headset, then people can feel like they can say and horrible things, huh? Yeah.
But you're good. You take care of it right away. And I'm super proud of him for that because that's a big thing. Because just what you said, they can't see who they can't see who they're talking to sometimes, and it's all an illusion. Like sometimes they'll put like, what are those icons?
Emojis?
They'll put like their game name or something like that, and it's never their face.
Oh, their avatar.
Yeah, their avatar.
Yeah, their avatar.
Yeah. So, well, let us finish our show, okay? I'll be out there in a little bit.
Can you
Say
tell them bye?
Everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
He's got model hair. Like, it's all tousled.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't care because I'm so cool. Okay.
And by the way, he is really cool.
So we won't do the one line. So then I want to talk about how to create a happier Facebook, and then also how to create healthy boundaries when you're dating, like on the apps and stuff. Freaking hate dating. I hate those apps. What I found is nobody loves me because I'm an in-person kind of person. Like nobody looks at this and they're like, oh stud, I'm a boyfriend, right? So you know what this feels like? You know what this feels like? Boyfriend material. So I don't think I translate very good on dating apps. So, but I will say I have had some interesting experiences with that for when I first started 5 years ago, and then I think I got on there maybe 1 or 2 times since, just to kind of get an idea of it. And then of course it was just horrible, like nonstop red flag people. But so first thing with Facebook is having Facebook to where, you know, if you're on it constantly, is it a place where you're happy, or is it a place that's exhausting you, or is it a place that's just triggering you,
creating anxiety?
Yeah. So I have cultivated mine, but I tell you, there's a lot of patients that are like, they have their all this social media time that they spend is actually causing them more hormonal exhaustion and reiterating and re-strengthening reactive responses and reactive triggers or trigger responses.
Right.
And so just know, like, healthy boundaries, your Facebook is your sanctuary. So you don't have to have family on there that you don't want on there. You don't have to have friends on there. You don't have to have people that have been your biggest support system. If they cause more harm than benefit to your happiness, they don't have to be on your social media, right? And sometimes, and the same thing with like purging, like people, you know, like it's very rare that somebody will say negative stuff to me, and my Facebook friends will like attack you if you like mess with me for some reason.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with taking, if you say some horrible stuff, I'll take your post off. And then people will come back on and be like, the private message, like, oh, you're censoring me. Yeah, because this is my safe space. This is my happy place. You don't get to come in my house and pour orange juice all over the couch because misinformation or you got problems. That's not my problem, right? You can pour it on my couch, but you don't get to be a part of my party anymore. You don't get to come in my house anymore. Your view and your voice do not get to be a part of my life. And I'm okay with that. But for a long time, I wasn't. Because I was, I can't censor people. I'm going to argue with them. No.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? You pee in my pool, you don't get to come back to my pool. Only I pee in the pool.
Yeah.
You pee in the pool?
Never.
He does.
I'm never dead.
Pools are 80% pee.
There are.
That's a fact.
There are lots of really good things about social media. As far as like Instagram and Pinterest and stuff like that, I mean, those are things that might help someone who's lonely pass time. There's creative endeavors on there. There's lots of beautiful things, going on. But what I was saying earlier is about, there's so many single people in the world today because of social media. Because I really feel like, unfortunately, it's kind of taken over our lives a little bit. And that's really difficult to recover from because it can be so addictive.
Yeah.
We develop unrealistic expectations about ourselves, and we compare ourselves. We want people to acknowledge us through those means instead of through a partner.
Yeah.
And so, singles, you can meet people there. That's a really big thing. Although, if you're in a committed relationship, it's not a good place to meet people.
You probably shouldn't be.
Yeah. Or, if you are in a committed relationship, it's not a great place to hang out, honestly. Because what I have explained in years past is that statistically, if you're a guy and you love a post from a woman who's susceptible to oh my gosh, he loved it. He loved my post. He loved my post. He loves me. He loves me. And it's vice versa. Men can take the wrong conclusion from that too.
Oh, if they like 3 of my posts, I'm picking out baby names already.
Yeah, so that's my point. That's exactly my point. We have to have that. This is a healthy boundary. We have to be able to say, "Oh, thanks, Alex." We have to be able to say, I appreciate this person's viewpoint or their post or whatever it is, but do you really love it? Do you really love it? Or are you just being supportive? Do you really think that you should be spending that 5-10 minutes a day on that versus the person that you're in love with?
That's what it comes down to.
So that's exactly what it comes down to.
Damn it.
Because people misunderstand a lot of things. When words in general, when they're written, are sometimes misunderstood, most of the time. Because there's no verbal cue behind it. There's no...
Yeah. People
there's no emotion
interpret the way they want. So, okay, so riddle me this, Batman.
Yes.
I often get in trouble from other girls' boyfriends because they think I'm hitting on them when I like their stuff and giving them positive messages, that kind of stuff,
That's
right?
my point. There has to be a boundary.
But I grew up with a mom. I was raised by sisters. I only have daughters. Even my cats are all girls, right? And, I really, am a great conversationalist. I love that. I'll gas you up and stuff, inflate you and make you think you can
conquer
the world, right?
Yeah.
But most all my friends through my whole life have been females. Because guys just want to talk about bullcrap stuff and not go past the surface, and I'm like, let's jump into this conversation. Let's really get down to this, right? Women will do that. So women tend to be all my friends, right?
Well, that's great.
So
that's 100% wonderful.
So yeah. I think that disconnected. So my question is, I like and have long conversations and detailed conversations with lots of females that are my friends, but then I'm also in my relationship. But when I'm in a relationship, like I am all about that person. Like they get my first priority, not social media. And like maybe a couple X's ago, she didn't like a certain one, and so I was like, well, you are more important than this person that I barely know on Facebook. So I'll unfollow them, or I don't have
just
to
separate the tie.
Yeah. And even though I didn't feel like it's fair, because again, my intentions are good. I don't cheat, but they've been cheated on before, and I understand that. And I guess that's the difference. Maybe you tell me.
That's the healthy boundary that you have with your partner.
Yeah.
So what I was exactly. So you have some, like I said last week, some people are more flexible with communicating with opposite sex relationships on social media, whether they're friends or not. So for example, for me, I actually had to learn that because I have such a loving nature about me, that I'm like that. I want to inspire people. I want to love everything that they do, but I don't just go through scrolling and say like love, because if you like something on someone's post and you love something on someone else's post, guess what that causes?
What?
Oh, they don't like me as much. They love their post, so now I have to do something different or unique to create some more interest into. I want to get that person to like me like that too.
Wait, you think people?
There's like this.
You think people are caring about that?
Oh yeah, it gets into a whirlwind. No, I mean I gave you the statistics last week. I mean, literally, like there's like something like 60% of users reported it has impacted their self-esteem in a negative way. 50% of users report social media having a negative effect on their relationship. And so I was trying.
Yeah, we talked about that.
This is what I studied when Facebook first started, is that we have to be very careful about how we communicate with people, and some of the people we hardly even know. Like, do you even respond? Do you go ahead and push the like button? Do you write text that responds to that person? I mean, I've witnessed over the last 15 years that I can generate interest by a particular post, and that's probably some of my business is that too, but I can particularly draw out interest in people based on the time, based on the content, based on what time it's posted. If you respond, what does it mean if business?
If she likes all of your pictures at 3 a.m. in the morning? is that a sign of something? No.
That means why? Well, there's
come on.
Okay, so we're going to go back into the relationship stuff. There is you first of all, it's inappropriate.
Why?
Because
what if you're single?
No, it's inappropriate.
Why is this inappropriate?
Well, because
sure,
if you really care about somebody, it's really hot in here.
That's what I told you. It's 77 degrees.
So basically, can we open the door? Hey Al, would you open the door for us?
Yeah.
Thank you. So basically, what I'm saying about that is that if you really respect this person, then you have daytime conversations with them. Those late night conversations are drunker or booty call or
What if
unless somebody
what
works,
if you're shy and that's when your reserves
works,
are down? What about that?
I think you can still probably wait until 8:30 a.m. in the morning.
Well, yeah.
Unless you're in a relationship with somebody, then that could be fun.
So the other night...
No, don't share. 2 reasons. We're on live. And the other is I have my son here tonight.
It's not inappropriate.
Anyway...
So listen, you tell me if this is appropriate or not.
There is literally a whole mechanism inspired by all of this social media, is that we have to be very careful about how we interact.
I do think that like that interference with relationship we can overthink through that process too, where
does that go in our memory system?
we have two parts. So,
So
you got
see, we can.
amygdala.
What was that movie with Glenn Close where she kind of got all?
Was she the hand that rocks the cradle?
No.
She killed the rabbit, boiled the rabbit, and stole the baby.
Oh.
Killed the
Yeah.
the woman.
What was that called?
The hand that rocks the cradle.
No, it was a very popular movie. Anyway, she got really wigged out. She was in love with this guy, but it got a little cray-cray.
Glenn Rose.
Glenn Close.
No. Glenn Ross. No, that's not that movie. Okay.
No, and so people that you really don't organically know or have met or are very good friends with, you want to be very careful about responding to a lot of the stuff that they post, because sometimes if they post a lot of things throughout the day and you don't really know who they are, long distance, that kind of thing, be careful.
I have to be careful.
Because even if there's somebody like in a different state or something like that, and you're constantly liking their things or loving their things that they post, and it's meaningless to you, but maybe it's important to them.
Did you know on
it's
Instagram,
kind of very, very fine line.
Instagram, you have to heart everything.
Yeah, there's no option.
There's no option. You either love it or you don't. But I like.
But you can make comments.
So I like the heart part because, I love that they came out with caring, because there's love, there's the heart love, and then there's caring. And so when they came out with caring, I was like, this is good because that's a differentiator. Like, baby girl, like that's awesome. Like I think that's great. Like you're doing. So all these posts, I'm like care. Because thumbs up is kind of like whatever.
No, I mean,
like
see, that's just it. And it's like,
now.
do you really? I mean, are you really supporting them, or are you just?
If they post bullcrap, I ain't liking none of their stuff. But if they post stuff that like moves me, like I identify with, like I can see their growth or their emotional intelligence of it. Like, hell yeah! And I literally sit there and differentiate whether this is a love thing or whether it's a care thing.
Well, see, I don't even take the time anymore to really, because I just know
I
everybody.
care.
I know everybody that's on my social media.
You just thumbs up everybody? You just
No,
ignore
I mean,
them?
I actually took a sabbatical from it over the summer for several months, just because I was emotionally exhausted.
Dude,
so I just said I can't spend my time there right now.
My Facebook friends.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure this out because going through my friends to invite to hiking and doing all this stuff, I would see like really good friends that were just like there's no picture anymore. They're there, but there's no picture, and like their account's deactivated, and like I'm trying to figure out what's going on, and it's just like, oh, I'm taking a break, and like a lot of my friends that are very, very, very active on Facebook, I noticed that they it's just this wave of like they go off for a while, then they come on, this person goes off for a while. And like, but that's the thing is
It's okay.
If your Facebook is not your happy place, then it's exhausting you.
Well, I mean, that's just it. I mean, we really, gosh, I was talking about this last week about the 4 dimensions of relationships and how where we spend our time. If it's part of a business or something like that, it's really important to spend time on social media, not just Facebook.
I have to.
Yes, you do.
I have to.
But for me, I just, I have Wise Women ICT, and I really want to support, and I really want to support everyone. So I love everyone. I love everything that when I
Wise
really
Women.
do. Yeah, and I was talking about I have a new logo.
Like
I can't do it.
You do that?
I have a new logo. So it's not. So our next phase
new Wise Women one?
is Wise Men with Wise Women
No
and
such
vice
thing.
versa.
Is that a
So
thing?
the logo is really super. And since I said it right now, nobody else can take it. Ha.
You should have a wise
So-
raise your boys right.
Well,
ICT.
so
Because we're all damaged by the time we get to my age.
no, we're not.
Are we even like can we reconcile? I'm like a.
And so Deb Anderson, hi Deb, she says, I very rarely let anyone I don't know friend me unless I've been, and I can't read that, the rest of it. I just...
That's stranger danger talk right there.
Well, that's just what I was talking about earlier. It's like we just can't allow You know,
All
just
right.
even, but be careful, because when somebody friends you, go online to their page, find out who they are.
Oh, I do.
Even though
I stalk them and figure out who, like, are they legit? Like, are they, like, what's the integrity of them? Like, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I do that.
It's very important. It's very, very important. But I still think that spending all that time on social media instead of your relationship is probably, you know.
What if you don't have a relationship?
Well, that's what I said. I mean, it's really good to have
Are you
social media for things like that, but you still have to be careful.
bringing up the fact?
You know, it can help you stay connected to your partner. Say, for example, if you have someone who works in a different state once in a while, or you have a partner that, you know, that's how you keep, you know, that's how you keep connected to them. But also go online and start researching, learn from the experts, people who are spending a lot of time doing this research.
No, then they won't be my friend.
But all you have to do is just look up that stuff.
If people had healthier boundaries, they wouldn't be my friend on Facebook.
And what it also is really good for
Is what?
is it's a time capsule for people to continue to, you know, hold their memories there. However, I've heard stuff lately where it's like, what if Facebook goes away and then all of those memories are
You can download it
But
all.
now you can take those photo files and photo albums and stuff like that. You can download them. So make sure that you're maybe doing that in the future. Does anyone have
That's the one.
questions?
I can do that.
We have a lot of people watching right now, but yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
do your homework.
what have you guys done to kind of like clean up your Facebook? That'd be a good question.
Cleaning up Facebook.
I purge. Man, I will purge people like that.
I
So
just
there's-
I don't post anything controversial. I have a lot of family and friends around the country and in other countries too. So once in a while I'll post something about, you know, me and Alex, or something like last week, like I did that little karaoke. That was fun.
Oh, you were awesome at karaoke.
That was fun.
Thursday night. No,
So
Wednesdays.
those are
Wednesday
big,
night.
yeah, Wednesday
Yeah.
night. But those are big moments, you know, for people. Like, and so I think it's okay to do stuff like that. But you know, just
Your mom
posting
is
pictures,
good singer.
posting
You know
pictures
that?
of, you know, yourself walking down the hallway somewhere is just kind of like.
Oh my god. I love the pictures of like
And
the
then-
selfies where the toilet is in the picture.
But you know what's really funny is
What?
you can post something super meaningful
Mm-hmm.
and get like 1 or 2 likes, and then you can post something like your toilet seat, and it's like
1,000.
blows up.
Yeah. So what's funny is I
What does
noticed.
that tell you about your friends list?
No. I tell you, because I have friends that post stuff and they're beautiful. They're like, oh, it's gorgeous, right? But their post is this very meaningful trauma story or painful, and everybody's like, you look fine, you look hot, you look sexy, all this stuff.
Yeah.
No one even has read what they were
entire
talking
post,
about.
yeah.
They don't know that they just posted this thing about this was a very painful transformation, and then like I'm like the one that's like reading it and like, you know, you're really a strong person. Like I really respect that. You know, kind of like this. But every other one is just like you're hot, you're hot, you're hot, you're hot, you're hot. And that, I don't know. For me, I've asked a couple people those questions. Like, does that feel horrible to you to know that you are just over sexualized and like, you know, your whole meaning
Go sit down, please.
with your posts, like nobody sees you. They're like seeing through your emotions, they're seeing through your trauma, through your experiences, and only seeing that visual what would we say? Glamorification or whatever. So
Over glamorization, yes.
yeah, that's crazy to me. So
And you know, like artists, I have some artist friends on my Facebook page that, you know, they'll post a lot of stuff about their art, and man, they'll get like 200, 300 comments.
dang.
And
Shit, I'm posting
so
art.
here's what I say about that is like, how do they have that time? And then like I look at the timing on it, like it was just posted 15 minutes ago. There's already 100 likes. What are those 100 people doing?
No, yeah.
That just blows my mind. It's like there's 100 people who just like this, and it's only been posted for 30 minutes, and so Is everybody just sitting around? Maybe right now with COVID.
Well, because
but
everybody's
it's not just
everybody's
now.
just
It's all
everybody's just doing this.
yeah.
So
yeah.
so with
Oh.
Facebook, so that,
Or stopped at a stoplight.
yeah, or is
Honk,
driving
honk.
or driving. So
Right.
one of the
Right.
things I think I would say, kind of wrap that part up, is your Facebook is your Facebook. So it's okay to, you have options. If someone posts stuff and you don't like it, you can censor them, delete their stuff. If they're like, how dare you delete it, you can unfriend them. But you say, this is my healthy, happy space, and I'm not okay with you having that. If you want to directly message me about this, or if you want to post drama on your site, that's fine. You know, you can post that you hate me on another site, or that you think I'm wrong about something. I don't care. That's your feed. You have control over that. I have control over my life, my friends, my relationships, and my Facebook.
What would we do if we just didn't have this stuff?
Oh, you need to calm
Ask
down
yourself
with this.
that question. If we didn't have all of that like emotional feedback every day, all hours of the day, think about what we would be able to spend our time doing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if that was any better before that.
Oh, I think
Oh my God, Johnny
What?
didn't call me. I
So
called him
over-
5 times. Have you ever called
over
your
the
beeper?
summer-
Did you ever call your beeper?
no.
You did, didn't you?
No, I called other people's beepers.
Did you call your beeper because you're just like, nobody's contacting me on my beeper?
But think
and then you're like,
about-
is my phone working? Hey, can you call me to make sure my phone's working? That was Facebook before Facebook.
Well, my friend Lisa last week said, do you remember when we had real phone lines and you had to like sit by your phone and wait for that call or whatever?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's just a matter of really, let's value our time a little bit differently, where we're not so associated with monotonous. But it's the same thing with TV. It's programming on TV. It's politics. This last several months, it's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, we get our people's personalities get addicted to a lot of things, and so I think that's what my point is when I'm talking about social media, is that make sure it's a healthy thing that we're doing, and not necessarily not necessarily. I'm sorry, I'm a little distracted.
Oh, okay.
Alex, please go sit down.
I like that one.
Yeah, I like. Oh, this one.
So on family and stuff, feel free to unfollow. They don't know, but you don't have to hear their nonsense, which is good, right? And then with dating, so I want to say that as we go out, we're finishing our hour here, but dating's a really interesting thing, like the dating apps, right? So I hated them. It was a bunch of red flags, and I was just too dumb in the very beginning to even like have a healthy perspective or boundaries on there.
Right.
But one thing that I saw was very interesting, because people were just kind of like, oh my God, I'm super cute, my life's the best, and all this stuff, and you know, but then there was these people on there that were just like, I want a meaningful relationship with someone who actually cares. Someone will do this. I do not want this. I do not want this. And I was just like, ooh, that's a lot of baggage there. But honestly, that was probably the best post. Not looking back.
They know what they want.
Because they're just like, it's boundaries. If you're over here, don't even talk to me.
Right.
But if you're in here, talk to me. But I only know what your boundaries are if you tell me what your healthy boundaries are and what your red flags that you're not willing to tolerate are. And I gotta say, for the dating apps, that was probably a rare thing to see. And for me, in the beginning, like I wasn't emotionally intelligent enough probably back then that it was more of a turnoff. But that's okay, because I probably was not in their healthy zone. I had to date a bunch of red flags that got crazier and crazier and crazier till I finally was just like, hey, I think I'm doing this wrong. Like, how does this keep happening? But now I think if I had to do that, if I did a dating app again, I think I would really write out like an emotionally intelligent process that I would want.
Right.
And go from there.
Well, think about it this way too. When we're talking about how our brains take memories, so Bruce Lipton talks about the whatever picture you hold. I'm going to read this little quote of his. But it's whatever picture. And think about this when you're on any kind of social media, or if you're communicating with people through email, messenger, whatever it is. Whatever picture you hold in your mind, the brain translates that picture into chemistry that complements that picture and puts that chemistry in the blood. And the body responds to the picture in your mind. So think about how that can become addictive. And it's not necessarily reality, but it's that picture in your mind. You're seeing this picture of this person or this group of people, whatever it is. And so that's translating from your brain to your body, and your body is starting to respond. That could be a positive thing. It could be a negative thing too.
Yeah.
So the reality is have an organic relationship with someone. Don't do it all online. It's really not probably the best place to develop a relationship, but it could be good for that too a little bit, just by meeting people and then extending that out into an organic situation where you're physically seeing each other and you're understanding that trust.
I feel like
for
it's
each
good.
other.
It's like a little training game, like a training ground, you know?
If you could see him, he's weightlifting.
It's getting super buff.
So anyway, but social media again can be really good. It can be a good thing for, I know, a lot of single older ladies.
Oh, do you?
My mom.
Do you have phone numbers?
My mom, perhaps. I had to actually go through this with my mom. Like, no, don't accept that guy's friendship. He just posted a brand new picture of himself. Yes, he lives in Canada. Yes, he's widowed. So there's all kinds of, like,
You know what?
things to watch out for on that.
My ex-girlfriend Andrea, her mom. Oh no, I can't say it now because now I have it.
No, you
Shit.
can't say that. Nope.
Oh, sorry.
Oops.
I mean, Scheisen. Ochschnatterdorfen Sprechendehausen. Yeah.
I don't know.
Mona,
I have no idea what you just
povera
said.
bambina malata. See?
So, like, understand the energy that surrounds all of this, too. Because our energy is not different than the sun's energy or any other energy. So when you're putting energy into, this is soft science, but if you're putting all of that energy into something that's not real, and you can connect that energy with the other people, that's really difficult to do in real life. So you might find that you fall in love with somebody online, or not you in particular. I mean, I'm just saying it's easy to be enamored by a situation or a scenario, and then you might break your really good organic relationship that might need help or might not, or whatever it is. Then you separate that, and then you find that this other person, it's like the grass is greener on the other side kind of thing, and then you come back and you're like, I should never have done that. I've never done that. I personally have never done that.
No, do what?
I've never done that.
I've
never said, ooh, I'm gonna break up this beautiful relationship that I have currently.
Oh, I never
and
do that.
then move forward to something else, and then go, ooh, that wasn't really a
I'm
good move.
Irish, ride or die.
So be sure to, and we didn't disclaimer in the very first place is that we're not therapists, we're not relationship therapists, and we're not social media gurus either. But I have done a lot of personal independent studying on that stuff, so it's really interesting stuff.
We're just real people.
We're just real people
Talking
living
about real
lives.
things. That's right.
Having real kids in the middle of a live show.
This is real world. It doesn't get more real than this.
Yeah.
Everybody's watching and they're like, okay, when are they going to snap? When are they going to snap?
Yeah.
When are they going to snap?
Yeah. But, so anyway, so be sure that, you're getting real life serotonin bursts and oxytocin bursts and not
Yeah.
Not don't cyber date. That's no good either.
I'm a snuggler. I can't cyber date anyone.
Well,
We snuggler.
I mean, it's just not real.
Yeah.
Unless you have, you're married to a soldier and he's overseas, and then you get to do the cyber stuff.
Why do you say he's overseas?
Or she.
Sexism. Sexism.
Or the soldier, your partner is overseas. There we go.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of.
No.
Oh boy.
So.
We might have to have him involved in the conversation sometimes. Let's
Well,
talk about kids.
All right. What is your impression of everything? You have to give them your advice.
See, that's what we should all do. What do you think?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. What did you learn through all this? What do you think? What do you think about girls?
So if you're in a relationship with someone and you are a social media, if you're partaking in social media, be sure that you set those boundaries with each other so that you have, hard boundaries set and it's completely concise, talked about, understood, reciprocal, so basically everybody understands and is okay with it. And then there's those soft boundaries that, let's just, iPhones have, or no, actually, Facebook actually has a thing on there now where it tells you how long you've spent on social media. So give yourself a guideline to say, I'm only going to spend 1 day a week. I'm going to check in on Sunday morning because I don't do stuff on Sunday or whatever.
Did you say 1 day a week?
Well, 1 or 2 days a week where you check in and you say, hey, everybody, how's it going? Give yourself an hour.
You gotta have a life
kind of
for that, though.
Give yourself an hour to check on your friends.
You have to have a real life.
But see, that's the thing is, how many times do you actually go to your friend's page just to see how they're doing? It's almost like a letter. You're writing a letter to them saying, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. Let's get together next Saturday. I've got friends like that too. But it's really important to manage your time well, if anything that you're doing. That's the 4-dimensional relationships, or the 4 dimensions of how much time do you spend on, what's important. Make a list, evaluate what you're doing, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Also, I am thinking about getting a forum together where we have maybe 4 men.
Nice. I'm liking this.
Who have different sort of life stories where they actually talk about things that they have experienced in their life with relationships, and then again with some women doing the same thing, so that we can it's a forum that we just don't have in society right now, is where we can get ideas and communicate with each other and say, hey, this works for me, this works for you, this works for whatever. And, it might be very helpful. So what would y'all think about having something like that in the future?
Yeah.
I would like to get your feedback. Yeah.
Can I be one of the men?
It depends.
On my resume, I'm a man.
It might be a couple of different, forums.
Dude, she's basically saying no.
No,
I know what that means.
No, I
well,
don't know.
we'll see where you fit in the plan and the bigger picture. There's a lot of things moving around.
I don't have anything figured out yet. I'd like to get y'all's feedback, though.
Can I come to your party? Well, it's very complicated. I haven't got the guest list yet.
Yeah, I know. It's just the beginning phases. But I would like to do that.
Yes.
Sort of like what we've been doing in the past months is just having these really good conversations and but we might pick a particular topic where that's more prevalent. So say hi everybody if you're watching. I'd really like to see who all's on here. We've got a few people.
So emotional intelligence.
Yep.
Start practicing. Become aware. Make changes. Practice those changes. Now, we got to figure out whose kid this is. Do you know where your parents are?
No. Well, it's emotional intelligence. It's social skills. What we talked about today was really just having social skills, making sure that we're, free speeching with empathy and self-regulation, and having self-awareness in that, because that's really really important. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
All right, guys. So this is episode 187, murder.
Oh, goodness. Now.
Yes. We're going to murder your depression.
Stop that.
What are your depressions? It's not good. You're so nice. Okay.
I know.
All right, you guys. Want to hear your
It's been a
feedback.
pleasure.
For those of you guys that watch this offline, tell us what you do to help create healthier kind of dating profiles, how you create a healthier social media for yourself, and then also kind of like how you figured out intellectual, emotional intelligence, how that's kind of changed or you apply it to your life. Because one of the things about all this is we're all on this constant continuum of change of figuring out how just to be happy in a chaotic, unhappy world. Because the world's mostly happy, we just kind of focus on the bad stuff and wire ourselves for bad stuff. But once you start applying this, you can actually rewire for happiness, which is a whole different world. So let us know what you're doing. Let us know your thoughts. But and I'm not sure what our topic is next week, but we'll see you next week. Bye, you guys. All right, you guys say bye.
Bye. Why?
And say this.
Hi.
Oh my God, I need attention. Someone's on Facebook without me. All right, bye, y'all. Say bye.
Bye.